blank on page 13. Number 2D, any proposed equipment 50 feet or greater in height shall be required to provide certified drawings of the structural components of the utility scale West conditional use Met Tower or the WEGF, including the structures, components, towers, bases, and footings. Is there any further discussion on this motion? Hearing none, we'll proceed by roll call.
Mr. Martis?
Yes.
Mr. Castle?
Yes.
Mr. Dussel?
Yes.
Mr. Gillen, yes. Mr. Card?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, if we're looking for blank spots on page 16, number 4, all utility scale WESs, conditional use Met Towers, and WEGFs must meet the greater than minimum separation distance of no less than how many times the WES rotor diameter?
There's a number of issues involved here. One is that when you get them too close, they have the wake effect from the rotor can amplify noise at the next receiving rotor. But apparently, according to Mr. Goldberg, there's an industry standard now where the manufacturer will not give a warranty to these rotors when they're placed too close together because they have an impact on the bearings with unequal loading on the rotor from the rotor wash from the prior one. It seems to me much of what I've read has suggested a separation of 10 rotor diameters is pretty common. Frankly, if we're a half mile from non-participants and a quarter to participants, and as long as we can honor the noise issues, I don't really much care how close they put them to each other. That's not relevant to me. Mr. Manning, does Vestas have a recommendation in their literature for a rotor separation?
It's different by site. They'll do a site suitability analysis, and it's less than 10 rotor diameters. But I agree with your comment, Mr. Martis, that I think the other setbacks that you were recommending are more material to the health and safety of your residents as opposed to the setback between turbines.
Right. The only way I can see where the setback turbine could affect health and safety is if it increased the likelihood of rotor failure due to unequal loading. And with the setbacks we're proposing, I haven't seen much documentation of rotor failure resulting in debris much beyond 1,000 feet. I guess, I don't know. I mean, we got a 300+ foot rotor. 10 rotor diameter is going to be 3,000 feet. At 10 times.
10 times.
Which is a lot. I mean, my preference would be you could put 20 of them in a mile, smack dab in the middle of the mile, to minimize impact. But in fact, I proposed that a year or so ago. What if we gave you 5 or 6 miles in the middle of the township and you could pack 100 of them in there to minimize the effect elsewhere? That's a no-go. So, I don't know. Maybe we need more research on it. I know there are definitely noise issues. But you gotta remember there's a cumulative effect to the number of turbines as well. 10 turbines at 3,500 feet produces the same amount of noise, as I recall, so off the top of my head, a 1 turbine at 1,300. So I mean, there's all manner of issues involved with here that increase the effect. So if you have an ordinance that only measures the sound to 1 turbine instead of the whole cluster, you can comply on that single turbine to the single house, emitter-receiver relationship. But if you didn't take into account the whole cluster, I mean, there's all manner of things involved here. The noise limit's the part that protects us on that, as near as I can tell. And this says no less than X times the WES rotor diameter, the minimum industry standards, or the minimum manufacturer's recommendations. So, it doesn't even, it's not even really definitive. So it says the greater of a minimum separation So if we said 6 and the manufacturer said 8, I don't know. Maybe we need to do some more research on that.
That one sounds like it might have to have some more research.
I mean, off the top of my head, I'd say 10, but it may be unreasonable with our other setbacks. But 10 is not unheard of, I know that. But turbine rotors aren't always 330 feet or still across either, some are 250. Which is certainly short enough.
The proposed turbines, these Vestas, what are the 135?
Plus minus.
Sorry, what's the question?
Literature right here.
The V100s, what would be their rotor?
100 meters.
Which is about
Rotor
300.
diameter.
Is that okay, but to the hub or?
No, that's the diameter of the
That's
rotor.
Diameter.
Diameter.
330 feet across.
Half of that. You said that.
No, they say the rotor, the ordinance is based on the rotor diameter. So it would be 3,300 feet setback from turbine to turbine if we use 10 times. Well, like I said, if we can keep them away from non-participants and keep the noise limits down, I could care less how close they go. That's up to the developer in my mind. And yeah, maybe the landowner doesn't want so many. I don't know.
Is this one, we're actually looking at possibly we need to research this more? Or?
Do we just delete the paragraph?
I wouldn't delete the paragraph. I would get some research. I will do some before my time is up.
Research that one.
Research.